Most recent estimates from the USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service indicate Nebraska farmers produced a record corn crop in 2015. The total output is expected to be 5% higher than 2014, with a best ever average yield of 187 bushels per acre. At the Fremont Corn Expo held in Fremont, Nebraska Thursday, we talked with Nebraska Extension plant pathologist Tamra Jackson-Ziems about how corn growers can use corn hybrid selection to control diseases next season while also maintaining manageable input costs.
Well, hybrid selection can play a big role in minimizing losses that we have for diseases, depending on which diseases you're talking about. So we recommend that people work closely with their seed agronomist and try to position some of those hybrids, especially in fields where they've had some chronic issues in the past.
Which diseases might you look to target here as you're starting to select hybrids, or if you've already done it and maybe thinking about making a change?
Well, the one thing is you want to make sure you know which diseases you had and where they were, because almost all of the diseases that we have are caused by pathogens that do overwinter. And so if we have similar conditions, weather conditions, in 2016, it can guarantee that you could see those again. And so examples would be northern corn leaf blight, gray leaf spot. Those are probably some of our big key ones right now, because we really don't have good resistance to rust like southern rust, and that one does not overwinter, so we can't predict it as well.
How prevalent were those diseases, gray leaf spot, northern corn leaf blight?
Early in the season, in 2015 and 2014, we had cool, wet conditions, and they were very favorable for northern corn leaf blight. And so where we had susceptible hybrids, they were hit pretty hard in some cases. And so that's something to be aware of. But as temperatures warmed up, we still had the humidity, and then we began to see a lot of gray leaf spot. And gray leaf spot probably was the biggest overall problem that we had on corn.
Yeah, you mentioned weather. What role does weather play in helping or hurting these diseases?
Well, we want to keep reminding people that most of these, especially the ones caused by fungi, like gray leaf spot and northern corn leaf blight, they like humid or wet conditions. And that goes for a lot of other diseases as well, and the stress that they cause the plants. And so whenever we have conditions like that, you can anticipate that some of those same diseases will reoccur on some of the susceptible hybrids in the same fields.
Were fungicides effective this year?
We do have some favorable results with a lot of the fungicides in our fungicide trials, and we'll be sharing those today at the Fremont Corn Expo and at the crop production clinics for the next month or so, and then they'll be online as well, and so people can look at those and make decisions accordingly.
How effective can crop rotation be in helping to control some of these diseases?
Crop rotation is also an excellent way to minimize disease pressure. It gives the chance for the infected crop residue to break down and disintegrate into the soil, and that's where most of these pathogens are overwintering.
Any that wouldn't be solved by crop rotation though?
Yes, and actually we can't eliminate disease pressure with crop rotation or any of these methods individually, but in particular the pathogens like rust pathogens that don't overwinter here, they have to blow in every single year, and so crop rotation, hybrid selection, there's really not much we can do except monitor for its development and spray if needed.
Can you talk about rust and the treatments and kind of what it led to in standability in some fields?
Certainly. So this year we had a lot of southern rust move in. At least we had a high incidence of it, so we had a little bit, it seemed like, everywhere. In reality though, most places did not have severe southern rust, and many didn't need a fungicide as a result. And so it was a surprise, though, that in our fungicide trials, we actually had a significant impact of southern rust on standability and lodging. And so we also had a significant impact, again, like we've had in several other years, with fungicides improving standability. And so that's another factor to consider if you have lodging issues.
So we're also talking a lot this year about the tighter margins that farmers are facing. Is this a way that you can still monitor input costs by selecting hybrids?
Absolutely. Resistance to our diseases are not traits, and so it doesn't cost any more to select a hybrid unless maybe the hybrid isn't competitive as far as yield. And so those are things to consider, but hybrids do perform very differently to some of the diseases, and so know what you've got and select accordingly in working with your seed agronomist.